Hi there, and welcome to FMCG by Alex. Today, I would like to talk to you about supply chain efficiency. Let's start off with how distributors work so you have a deeper understanding before we go into the strategies, basically. Distributors hold stock in relation to average sales. Now, what does that mean? That means that they are holding a certain amount of buffer stock in relation to the average sales that they have per day, per week, per month. This allows them to replenish the retailers that they supply. They also are able to forecast what they need from the principal. Then they are accounting in that entire equation for the transit time for replenishment, as well as seasonal highs and lows. So you have a monthly forecast, a monthly target, a forecast, a rolling forecast, basically. And that is in line with transit time. So let's say a distributor is on another island and it needs 2 weeks to get the stock to him or her. That means that the buffer stock needs to be maybe a month of sales, month of stock for certain products, and let's say 2 weeks of buffer stock to cover the in transit time. Then distributors work with taking order salespeople and canvas salespeople. So taking order salespeople are people who are, as it already says, taking orders from the stores. So they are going to a store, write down the order, bring it back, and then someone else comes and delivers it. And you have canvas salespeople who are usually selling cash. So you have bring the product already, and they leave the product when the sale is made. So this is the most efficient way of selling, but not everybody would like to avoid buying on credit, basically. So this is something that is used for outlets that usually don't have a credit line yet, smaller outlets or a new area. The objective of success in FMCG is avoiding out of stock, because out of stock is lost of sales. The general idea behind this is like, today I went to the store and I'm looking for, let's say, Coca Cola. Coca Cola isn't there. So tomorrow when I come back and it's there, I'll buy two. Yeah, that doesn't happen, basically. So that's why Coca Cola loses one bottle of sales, basically, on that day, because their product was not available. That's why availability is key in FMCG. So, really, distribution, availability, being there. Usually, what is there also is sold. It's not that customers are also, oh, I don't have my brand here. I'm thirsty, but let me go to the other store to buy Coca Cola. No, they are actually really looking for a beverage to quench their thirst, basically. Then an imbalanced inventory index is inevitable. An inventory index is basically the inventory you are holding, and per product you have a selling out, a selling to the stores, basically. As a distributor, you can't have a balanced inventory index because at some point demand fluctuates. You can forecast all you want, you can have the most beautiful models actually in place, but still there can be things that are, yeah, without out of the locus of your control. And the second thing is that sometimes as a distributor you know what you need and you would like to have it, but from the principal there are salespeople who need to make an incentive and they say, can you help me? I need to sell a little bit of this, or we are behind on the target for this product. Can you buy a little bit extra? Which means that your inventory at some point is built up in slow moving items. So the fast moving items are out of stock, and what you don't need, you have in stock. That is always how it turns out. Not always technology can help you because it's the limitation of the factory. I've worked for a company, very good company in Indonesia, that one of the market leaders in dairy. At some point, we had a production problem back, we're talking about 15 years ago, basically, where we simply did not have enough stock to fulfill 100% of the demand. Sometimes you can basically say to your distributor, can you take a little bit extra of this because we have stock of something more slow moving, and we don't have products that is fast moving. So you need to fill up the container with something. That is actually also the logistics side of things, where efficiency to send a full container load. Okay, I need to fill the container with something, and I don't have the exact mix that you need. Now, then let me send you what I have. That is how imbalanced inventory indexes are built. And the further away from the source the distributor is, the further away the market is basically from the production source, the more likely it is to be imbalanced. There's always a problem there. That's why you need to manage stock on a multi level inventory management. Multi level inventory management is a fancy word for you need to be aware of what is in the factory, what the factory is turning out, what is actually in the warehouse of the principal. You need to know what is in the warehouse of the distributor, and you need to have at least educated guess of what the retailer has in stock, because sales actually can be predicted based on their selling through of the outlets. The problem with that is that retailers, yeah, are not always as open as you would like to be. So ideally, you have all these three levels basically covered, but 2 out of 3 is already quite good. Very important help in this is supply chain technology. So there are beautiful inventory management systems. So I think I've covered this in previous videos when it came to distributors. So we had some very traditional distributors, distributors that maybe are too small also to really invest a lot of money in sophisticated systems. They have basically a manual inventory system. And that means that if you call them up, what is your stock position? They will say, oh, let me walk to the back and check. So that is the most manual you can actually come up with. Anything manual takes more time to verify, and visual verification can take a longer time. If you basically have a system where you say, oh, I yesterday I had 80, today I have 60, no, that means I have sold 20. These inventory management systems, and automatically in the inventory management system, as soon as I hit 40, then there is a purchase order being sent to the principal. Now, that's the ideal inventory management system you would like to have. There are a lot of solutions on the market. I've worked with a couple of companies basically. So Bizom, I've mentioned them before. They have a whole range of very exciting technological solutions for both supply chain management, field team management. Field team management I've used firsthand. They have a various products in their portfolio, which you name it, they have it basically. And the second company is Innovata International. That is a company in Singapore. I am personally involved in. They're more on the demand forecasting models. So let me link it to the second point in this slide. Demand forecasting models meaning like if you know what the sell through will be in the stores, you also know what to bring to the stores to replenish. So the replenishment is actually easier to forecast. Innovata has a very interesting technology that, or interesting platform, better to say, that has a very high accuracy on demand forecasting for general trade. So they have various different channels, but for general trade, especially, these guys are yeah, say a whole new level of understanding basically of this channel, which everybody is struggling with, especially in Indonesia. I see like general trade is, there are millions of general trade outlets basically. You can't really, yeah, forecast it properly, and the salesman is always bringing the wrong product if it's a canvas salesman, and if it's a taking order salesman, there might be a mismatch with the distributor. So in the end, the issue here is that demand forecasting models are very, very important. That can be something very simple, but that can also be something very sophisticated and technologically advanced, basically like the Innovata model. Then mapping and routing solutions. So this is also so back to Bizom. Basically, Bizom has this very interesting solution for field team marketing. Basically, that field team management, I have to say, that predicts or not predicts more can give you the optimum route basically based on the outlets that you have entered into the system. So let's say you come from a situation at this moment where you haven't uh, really mapped the optimum routes basically, or you still do it manual, then Bizom can uh, yeah, basically do that for you based on the outlets and the visit you have done once through their system basically. So it's a very interesting company. I will share the links to both companies in the description of the video. Then we come to strategies. I've identified 3 for you. First up is demand driven. So this is involves detailed operations, sales and operations planning. The thing is that you need to tune everything to demand. So demand is the driver for the entire planning of your sales and operations. You reduce out of stock here is all clicking, was it ticking like clockwork basically in an ideal setting. Then you have collaborative planning, forecasting, and replenishment, CPFR for short. So this is more about collaborating with all the players in the supply chain. So you have, as a factory, you have a production plan. As a distributor, you have a sales plan. You have a retailer who has a forecast. And these are real-time data points that you are capturing and you are analyzing also real time. Everybody is open book here, and together you try to optimize the supply chain. And then last up is technology driven. So technology driven supply chain strategy is basically more an optimization. So you're using Internet of Things, AI, blockchain to optimize the different elements of supply chain. There are various technologies that you can use to, let's say, take the manual part, which is also more prone to error, out of the supply chain and optimize it with real-time data and real-time analysis, basically. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to reach out to me, Alex at devriessalesconsultancy.com. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I see you in the next video.